Hi, today I thought I'd show you something a little bit retro, something from my childhood, and that is a cyber pet. So, for those of you who grew up in the 1990s, you'll remember that these were all the rage, also known as Tamagotchis, a Japanese invention, and the idea was that kids would have a little digital device like this, made out of plastic, with a very low resolution LCD screen, and they would have a sort of digital pet, and you'd have to care for the pet. You'd have to feed them and put them to bed and give them drinks and so forth. And this was really all the rage in the 90s for kids under around sort of 10 years old. And this is one that I picked up in America at the time, and it takes two quite large batteries in the rear, and really quite simple by today's standards. Long before you could have sort of virtual pets on your iPhone, this is what we had back in the 90s, and you can see it's sort of interesting colours and shapes. This one's red, and on the back you just got where you put the battery. You've got the reset button, and it's on a keychain, so you can take it with you. And then you've got a very simple LCD screen in the centre, and then you've got 5 buttons, which allowed you to interface with the device and to look after and interact with your cyber pet. Now you'll see on the screen it's rather macabre. You can see a cross, and you can see a rather unusual shape. I suppose it looks like two eyes peeping up and something floating into the air, and I'm afraid to say that this means that the cyber pet has died. And for those of you who had them, if you weren't assiduous in feeding and watering your pet, this would be quite a common occurrence. And in order to avoid this, kids would go to school, and these things would need feeding and watering every few hours. So they'd often leave them with parents. So cyber pets were really the scourge of parents in the 1990s, because they had to feed or water the cyber pet. Otherwise, this screen would show up, so the child, when they got home, would see that their cyber pet had died. If you can see, you see like a notepad at the bottom left? I'll try and see if I can show you. It's not very easy to see, is it? But it's just there, and you could sort of cycle through using this button, so you can see when I do that, hopefully. Can you see a little drink icon at the top? That's if you want to give it a drink. That's if you want to check on it. That's if you want to turn the lights on and off for it. That's if you want to pet it. And that allows you to have a summary, and there are equivalent buttons on the right hand side. I don't think they work at the moment whilst it's dead. But if I click in on the clipboard, I can use this button here to enter and to get some more information. We can see a grumpy face. It's not very happy. I'm sorry I'm having to use overhead lighting, but these weren't backlit, so you probably wouldn't see the screen if I wasn't. But you can see they're a very grumpy cyber pet, understandably so if it's passed away. And we can then cycle through, so we can see it's only 10 degrees Celsius, so it must have got very, very cold. You can see that those are meant to be glasses, and when you give it a drink they fill. 4 empty glasses, and we can see here 4 empty rice bowls, so it's not had any food. And we can see that it's 14 kilograms. When you start out, they're a lot lighter than that actually, so that's probably a reasonable weight for your cyber pet. And it's gone back to that message. Let's just have another go. And what else does it tell us? But it was very well educated, so it died an intelligent cyber pet, an A+ student. You couldn't say that of many dogs, could you? So those are your options there. And if you click this button, you can see a clock, and you have a little animation where it shifts from showing you the status of your pet to the time of day. You see it's 7:15 p.m. Now I can't do anything more with this cyber pet at the moment because it died. So what I have to do is I have to reset it. And the way that I do that is using a mechanical pencil, and you press here and you hold it and it resets. So we can see here that having reset it, the cyber pet has come back to life, and we're greeted with this rather elementary animation of some sort of creature. It's got 2 eyes which we can see dotting, but we can't see any mouth. We can see unless I suppose the chin was deemed to be the mouth. We can see that going up and down. But this is the cyber pet, and the first thing that I think we should do is give the cyber pet a drink. So the way we do that is we click this button here, and we select the drink icon, which I don't know if you can see, but it's right at the top. And then we click enter, and you can see that he has a drink, and you can see that the drink goes down as he drinks it. There we go. So he's had a drink. Oh, but he's still not happy. Seems he's sort of crying out. So I think we should give him another drink. So there we go. He's having a good old sip of that, and he's still not happy. Now, if we, using this button, go down here to the clipboard setting, if we click that, we can see an overview. So we see he's not very happy. We can see he's relatively warm. He's 25 degrees Celsius. We can see he's had 2 of his 4 drinks that he needs. See, he's had 0 of his 4 meals. He's very light. He's only 1 kilogram. And he's a very poor student. He's an E+ student. So we're going to have to try and do something about that. So if we then click escape, we can then go back to the main menu. And I think let's give him his other 2 drinks. So there we go. He's having his 3rd drink of the day. Yep. But he's still not happy. So let's give him his 4th drink. So that's his 4th drink. Okay, so he's had 4 drinks, so that should be enough, but he's still not happy. I think he's probably hungry. But if we click on the drink option again, can you see he nods to say no? He doesn't want another drink. So do it again. There he is nodding, a bit of a side profile. So he's had enough drink. I think though we should feed him. And we've got some options here. I think we can turn the light on and off. We can give him a meal, a hot meal. So let's give him a hot meal. And you can see the steam rising off the plate. There we go. So he's had a meal, but he's still not happy. So I think we've got to give him. Should we give him another hot meal? He's a greedy little cyber pet, isn't he? So there we go. He's eating his 2nd meal. Still not happy. I think for variety, let's give him something else so he can have. Now the one downside to these things is sometimes the buttons aren't hugely sensitive. So we can give him an apple. I don't know what that is. The light, the hot meal, an ice cream. I think we'll have to wait for him to have dessert. Let's give him some fish. I think that omega-3 will be good for the cyber pet. So give him some fish, and you can see an animation as he eats through his fish. Still not happy. So let's give him his 4th meal. Oh, and let's give him some more fish. Now, after eating all that fish, I wonder if he'll eat any more. Oh, he's eaten another fish. Well, he certainly seems to like eating fish. So, but we should probably have given him dessert. Nope, he doesn't want any more fish. I don't blame him. Will he take dessert? Yep, he's had an ice cream. Okay, will he take an apple? Nope, he really is full. Okay, so that's enough food for him. And if we then click escape, we can then play with the lights. So the lights on. Yeah, his lights are turned on, so that's okay. And then, yeah, that's fine. So, okay, the lights are on. Should we give him a pet? Because he doesn't seem very happy, does he? So if we do that, there we go. We see a little hand animation, stroke him. Let's do it again. Stroke him again. Stroke him again. Why not stroke him again? I don't know if he ultimately bites you or if you stroke him too much. I don't think he does. And then go down there. We can check up on him on the clipboard. He's still not happy after all that petting and all that food. But he's nice and warm. He's 25 degrees Celsius. He's had more than enough to drink. He's had more than enough to eat. He's still quite light. He's only 2 kilos. Oh, but he's an A+ student. I don't know how that is, given I've not taught him anything. Maybe we should give him... Let's give him another pet, shall we? There we go. And one more. Okay. And we can do certain things on the right-hand side. So, now unfortunately on this one, the button on the right-hand side isn't always terribly reactive. There we go. That's the heating. First aid. I don't think he needs that. I don't think he's ill. Is he happy? Oh, there we go. So, some hearts. And you can play a game with him. You can play, I believe, rock, paper, scissors. So I had paper and he had paper, so it was a draw. But he seems quite happy about that. Dots coming from his forehead. Now this time I can change. Shall I go for rock? Let's see what he goes for. He went for paper, so we won. So I'm sure that's going to make him happy. And let's have 1/3 round. Let's go for scissors, shall we? One for scissors. He went for paper, so I win that round. There we go. So you could, if you were really bored as a sort of 6 or 7-year-old, you could play rock, paper, scissors with your cyber pet. Hours of fun. And then let's see what else we can do. Oh no, I've had enough of playing rock, paper, scissors. Can I escape? There we go, I've escaped. And I think after playing a game, we should do some reading. As even though he's an A+ student, I think he'd benefit from some reading. So if we click that, and we can see he's now reading his little book. And I think he should do some more reading. There we go. Some more reading. There we are. So he's well educated. And I think he might do with a wash. Should we give him a shower? There we go. No, he doesn't want a shower. Dirty little cyber pet. And then I think he's probably warm enough. So let's check on him and see how his vitals are now. Oh, he's happy. Can you see that big, broad, beaming smile? He's very happy. And what else? Oh, he's reasonably warm. He's had enough to drink. And he's had enough food. He's still only 2 kilos. But I'm sure he put on weight. And he's an A+ student. Now, I recall from experience that although he's happy at the moment, it won't last for long. And he'll probably beep in about, I don't know, an hour or something. Probably want food or he'll want drink. Or he'll want you to interact with him. I'm probably not going to do it. It's irritating. It was irritating when I was sort of 8 or 9. And it's very irritating now. And it's quite irritating seeing that he sort of dies if you don't. So I'm probably going to take the batteries out. But before I did, I thought I'd just share with you one of the toys from the 1990s, the Cyber Pet. For those of you who were children then, you'll hopefully remember, and hopefully you'll have fonder memories than me. And for those of you who were not around in the 1990s, you can see what millennials played with before smartphones. I mean, in fairness, we did have other toys. We had Game Boys and we had the first generation PlayStation, but far more primitive toys than later generations have grown up with. But yeah, so this was the Cyber Pet. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing one in action. About 30 years after it was, at least 25 years after it was new. Probably nearer 30 actually. And yeah, so there's a Cyber Pet. If you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. I'm going to uncover other sort of retro tech from the 1990s and give you a demonstration of how they functioned and how they compare to more recent stuff. But this is the Cyber Pet.